On her first day at her adoptive parents' home, the little girl pulled out a power drill and removed her brother's bedroom door. The adoptive parents did not get angry. Instead, they prepared a huge pile of gifts for her. It was because their son has autism. He not only never speaks, he never opens his bedroom door either. The little girl was known in the welfare home for being a chatterbox. She had endless things to say every day. The couple needed exactly that kind of talkative girl to be a playmate for their son. They adopted the little girl and brought her home. The girl tried every method to open her brother's door. She then rushed in to find him and talk. The little boy retreated step by step, annoyed by the noise. Eventually he was backed into a corner. Seeing he could no longer back away, the girl began telling the little boy stories. She told him all about her life in the welfare home. She didn't stop for hours. The little boy couldn't take it anymore. He got up and ran out the door. The little girl immediately chased after him. The couple were overjoyed to see this. This was the first time their son had voluntarily left his bedroom. The little girl's efforts were largely responsible. The adoptive mother prepared a reward for her. She wanted the girl to live there forever. Soon, the servants carried a huge pile of gifts into the girl's room. She was delighted when she saw them. She thought she had to work even harder to get her brother to speak. Then she carried the gifts into the little boy's room, deliberately showing off the presents her new mother had bought. Seeing the little boy remain indifferent, she began taking the gifts out. The little boy grew agitated and uneasy. Meanwhile, the adoptive mother asked the servants whether the gifts had been intended for the girl. Only after asking did they learn that the girl had given all the gifts to the little boy. They had thought the gifts did not suit the girl's taste, and decided to take her to the mall to buy new ones. At that moment the little girl came down the stairs. The adoptive mother asked if she wanted to go shopping. Having grown up in the welfare home and never having shopped before, she immediately agreed. Just as they were about to leave, the little girl saw her brother standing alone on the stairs. He looked so lonely. She guessed her brother also wanted to live like a normal person. Thinking this, she told her adoptive parents she did not want to go shopping. She wanted to stay home and talk with her brother. After saying this, she turned and went upstairs. Her adoptive parents were instantly moved to tears. They said the girl was an angel sent by God. Shortly after they made a decision. They decided to send the little girl to school. The girl's first reaction was to ask if her brother could go to school with her. The parents did not dare to answer. They were afraid their son would become terrified in a crowded place. The girl said her brother should try to interact with peers. Maybe that would help him recover a bit. Hearing the girl, the parents thought perhaps they really could try sending their son to school. The next day, the little girl and her brother arrived at school together. Looking at the vast campus, the girl was overjoyed, but her brother followed behind, trembling. Sensing her brother's emotions, the girl grabbed him to keep him from bolting back home. At that moment a few school bullies blocked them, saying the boy was mute. Instantly the little boy's hands turned cold. Then more bullies arrived, and they kept humiliating the little boy. They taunted that the boy was a mute idiot who couldn't speak. They said he wasn't worthy of attending the same prestigious school as them. Hearing that, the boy's condition flared up. The girl realized that those cruel students were the root cause of her brother's autism. She immediately rushed forward and scolded them. She raised her fist, ready to teach them a lesson. The bullies, seeing the girl was not easy to bully, ran away in fear. Although her brother couldn't open his mouth to speak, he could feel the safety his adoptive sister gave him, so he wouldn't be bullied again. The girl took out 2 phone watches. She put one of them on her brother's wrist. She taught him how to operate it. She instructed him to call her at once if he encountered danger. After school, the girl ran straight to her brother's classroom. She intended to go home with her brother. Seeing her brother not in the classroom, she immediately became nervous. The next second the phone watch rang. From the other end came the sound of her brother being bullied. The group of bullies, seeing the boy had no one to protect him, prepared to snatch the phone watch from his wrist. When he was helpless, the sister arrived in time to stop them. She loudly berated those bullies, but they were not afraid. They even said one girl couldn't beat them. She grabbed the baseball bat nearby. She started swinging it at the bullies. She shouted for her brother to run. At that moment the bullies got up and grabbed the bat, joining with several others to wrest it away. In the end the bat fell to the ground. The girl was also pushed down. Watching his sister being beaten by several bullies, the brother could no longer hold back. He spoke up, "Let go of my sister." The scene immediately shocked everyone. No one expected a mute to suddenly speak. The girl was overjoyed, but the next second, a bully punched the boy and knocked him to the ground. The girl hurriedly helped her brother up. She told her brother not to pay attention to those psychos. The bullies angrily shoved the girl to the ground. The brother, excited, spoke again. He imitated his sister and called the bullies psychos. He stammered and couldn't speak clearly. He was ridiculed by the bullies again. They said he might as well remain a mute. The girl immediately stood up to protect her brother. She scolded the bullies for their low standards. She said that even attending a prestigious school couldn't make them decent. With that she picked up the baseball bat beside her. She began beating several of the bad classmates with it. As they ran away, the brother suddenly fainted and collapsed to the ground. Because the girl assaulted classmates, the school administrator reported the incident incident to the principal and proposed disciplining the girl. This instantly upset the wealthy couple. The girl told her adoptive parents that those bullies had attacked her brother first. The principal assumed that deleting the surveillance footage left no evidence and decided to expel the girl immediately. Unexpectedly, the girl played the recording from the video call. It proved the bullies had indeed harassed her brother first. When the wealthy couple learned their son had been bullied and that the principal had defended the bullies, they were furious at once. They threatened to cancel further donations to the school. The principal deeply regretted his decision upon hearing this. The next day, the girl saw her brother wake from his unconsciousness. She happily began chatting with him, but the only word he could say was psycho. That is an insulting word. If the adoptive parents knew he had learned to insult people from her, she might be sent back to the orphanage. So she worked hard to teach her brother other words, but the brother kept only saying psycho. Suddenly the brother had another episode. The girl thought to herself that her brother's autism must be related to those bullies. To help him recover quickly, she went to find the students who had bullied her brother. She wanted those bullies to apologize to him. The bullies had been expelled from school because of the earlier incident. They angrily sought revenge on the girl. At the crucial moment, the brother arrived in time, and he shouted loudly, "Stop!" The little girl discovered that her autistic brother could actually speak. Before she could stay happy for long, the gang of bullies were gearing up to torment them again. They had even hired an adult thug to do their dirty work. When the thug mentioned he had beaten the boy not long ago, the girl realized his trauma might be connected to that violence. She thought that if they could defeat those bullies, her brother's emotional barrier might finally break. But she was only a 10-year-old girl. There was no way she could overpower an adult thug on her own. Then, unexpectedly, her brother stepped forward. He scolded the bullies for picking on someone weaker than them. Seeing her brother speak filled the little girl with joy. In the next moment, the bullies ordered the thug to teach the two of them a lesson. The little girl stomped on the thug's foot. While he writhed in pain, the brother and sister teamed up and drove him off in a panic. With their muscle gone, the bullies suddenly turned afraid. Under the little girl's stern presence, the bullies apologized to the boy. They swore they would never bully him again. The little boy said he would let them off this time. Hearing that, the wealthy couple watching nearby were ecstatic. They hadn't expected their autistic son to speak. When they saw him reach out to take his sister's hand, they were convinced his condition was improving. They credited all of it to their adoptive daughter. They even treated her as the family's little talisman. At that moment, the little girl noticed her brother slipping back into language difficulty. She couldn't understand why it was happening. Her parents told her that autism isn't something that heals overnight, but they were content that their son had shown such marked improvement. They immediately decided to reward the little girl. She refused every gift they offered. All she wanted was for her brother to get better quickly. Then she could finally have conversations with him. Determined to cure her brother, she flipped through his old photos while asking their mother about his past. Her mother said he had always loved playing the piano. She added that his talent at the instrument had been exceptional, but 3 years earlier he had failed the entrance exam for the conservatory. After that failure, he had withdrawn into autism. The girl concluded his condition was tied to that failed audition. She thought that if she could get him back into his dream school, it might heal his emotional wound. Once that knot was untied, she believed he would fully recover. So she hurried to find him and urged him to take the annual piano exam. The mention of the piano made him visibly nervous. He didn't want to go. The girl couldn't understand his reluctance. After persistent pleading, he finally agreed to sit for the music audition. A few days later, accompanied by their parents and sister, he arrived at the nation's top music academy. The school admitted only one outstanding student each year. The first performer on stage was the same bully, who had tormented the girl and her brother. He sneered arrogantly at the boy before beginning his piece. When he finished, the judges failed to reach a unanimous decision to pass him. Backstage, he boasted about his skill again. He even mocked the boy's butterfly-like hands, saying they couldn't possibly play the piano. The sister snapped back at the bully in anger. Then she and their parents rallied to encourage the boy. Confident, he sat down at the piano. He delivered a stirring rendition of a piece called The Symphony of Fate. The judges were immediately captivated by the beautiful performance. They were so moved they wanted to award him a perfect score. This time the little boy passed the preliminary round without issue. The sister rushed to congratulate him. She lavished him with praise while ridiculing the bullies playing as grating and crude. She then declared she wanted to talk with her brother all day long. Their parents suggested celebrating at a 5-star hotel. Suddenly, a man approached from the crowd. He said to the little boy, "Long time no see." When the boy recognized the man as his former piano teacher, he screamed, "No," in terror. Then he collapsed to the ground.